There we go. Welcome to League of DC. This is your boy Taladia Plays. Sorry about the technical difficulty at the beginning there. I've got a bit of a bad connection today, just blamed on the internet. But let's introduce the boys. We're going to be reacting to Superman and Lois. So you guys know him as J Heat. Let's bring in J Heat Blaze.
Flame on. How you doing, Taladia?
Tired, I can say that much. So, and we got the one, the only Super Wonder himself, aka Comics League.
Yeah, it's like
podcast. So we'll see what happens with that.
May the force be with you, Wonder Bat.
Hello.
It's so good to hear it. It's so good to hear it.
Yeah, particularly since Zack Snyder said it's not going to happen.
But that reaction is worth it just for your intro. What's up, Strange Marvel Theories? Hopefully you're well.
What's up?
All right, let's watch the reaction because the episode is out. So, without further ado,
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Previously on Superman Lois.
See, he mute.
Yeah,
Oh,
J-
right.
I do know there's action in this episode, so don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. That's a good intro.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Sun's dropping hints. Oh, hazing, hazing. He's a firefighter now.
Like father, like son.
Exactly.
Oh,
Oh, buffer, super buffer.
there we go. I'm just tweeting out that we're live. So
Yeah, yeah.
there we go. He isn't a private guy. Reporters rumors. Potentially, yes. Okay.
You're telling me Lois is not the unscrupulous reporter she is in the comics? No wonder I like this version.
Don't forget, it's New 52.
I
Fine.
know.
Yes, it is personal. If you, what's up, Nick?
Nick, what's up, dude?
Nice to see you.
We're watching season 3 of Superman Lois.
Watching season 3, yes, episode 8. And Jay, he just says, "What up?" in the chat. It's awfully quiet in here. Yeah, because we're reacting to the episode.
It's a live reaction right now.
Yeah, live reaction. So if it was edited, it would have been a lot different. Dad, he's been overprotective, Dad.
Of course he is. He's John Henry Irons.
In the New 52, didn't he have a in the New 52? Was he ever overprotective, or did he have a daughter in the New 52?
I think he had a daughter. I'm not sure. I didn't really read John Henry Irons in the new 52.
Right. Yeah. Nick is on season 2. Yes.
Mhm.
Nick, luckily for you, like if this is the final season, then you can catch up with us
Yeah, yeah.
because potentially the news are that next season is won't be a thing. Oh wow. All right, Nick, take it easy. Thanks for popping in.
See you, dude.
See you later.
Nah, Jay Heat, you're on thin ice, brother. You're on thin ice right now.
You know, whenever Lana comes in, Chrissy reacts differently. You notice that, right?
Yeah, and you notice Clark perks up.
Like I'm just like, what?
Yep.
Okay, she's really struggling.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes.
How does she not get whiplash? Only for a
Oh,
second
look
there, I
at
thought, was
that.
this an ad?
Yeah.
Hey, Diggle.
Yeah, season. Oh wow. Yeah, as Jay Heat says, definitely reporter's remorse.
Yeah.
Oh, firefighter. It's time for John Kent,
We
the
need to break out the
Superboy.
calendars. There's gonna be a situation where he's gonna have to save someone. He's not gonna stay
Tevia,
by the
this is
truck.
for
Let me put it
you.
that way.
Tevia, this is for you. He's suiting up.
Oh yeah, Tevye, it's the Super Sons. He's actually in this now.
And as Jay Heat says, John Kent will actually be relevant, yes.
Nice, Shahid. Suit's looking good.
That isn't gonna make Jared happy
What?
seeing Lois Lane being an actual reporter.
Yeah. I've come to terms with it. So let me put it that way.
Oh wow, how good things come to an end, yes. Oh,
Up. More buffering.
yeah. At least we got about 20 minutes.
For a second there, I thought she said Batman, and I was like, wait a second here.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. I thought she said Batman for a second.
They said that man. Okay, okay.
If you are new to the stream, welcome indeed. I'm your boy Taladia. We're reacting to Superman and Lois live. So it's a live reaction, so to say, for the episode. Obviously, we can't show it on YouTube for terms of service policies. So you get to see our reactions anyway and our thoughts.
And you get to hear me make stupid jokes about Lois Lane.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's part of my charm.
Next time, don't be late. Yes. You got caught up with Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hashtag Lois ruins everything.
That is Jared's new thing. If I'm gonna get, I have to make a clip of that.
You may need a clip for that, dude. That's our new hashtag movement.
Mhm.
She can't control her powers. I see. Oh yeah, you want to hear a funny story? We're from an alternate Earth.
Yes. Please don't tell me they get back together.
Oh, he called Superboy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh boy.
He's
You notice that's the
jealous.
first time I think in the show they've called him Superboy.
Yeah.
It's
And
heavy,
as
and we're
Jay
getting
Heath
more of the
said,
Super Sons, dude.
low
Oh boy. Hey Jay
blow.
Heath, how come you're not on mic?
Because he's watching it on, he's using phone audio.
Okay.
Oh, oh boy. Can't believe it's 6 a.m. in the morning. For me, that is
For me, it's like 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Yeah, 1 a.m. for you, 6 a.m. for me. We still got about 20 minutes. Yes, yes, Shahid. Oh, do you do you think Jonathan will get his powers towards the end
Hey,
of
it
the
could be
season?
he doesn't get powers.
Because that's a question on my mind. If they are gonna finish off the season, right?
Mhm,
That they give Jonathan his powers at the end, and that is it.
mhm.
Oh, he's like, oh shit, not not happening. Oh, he's like, oh no. It's the sound. I can hear the.
Mhm.
You can hear the sound, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the suit's gonna come to him.
Time for Superman action, baby. Let's go.
Heck yeah, let's go. I love how the suit just forms around him. That's so cool. Come on, Clark, you got this. Oh, the cancer is hurting her. Okay, I see.
Oh boy. Troubling come in paradise.
More family troubles because it's a CW show, boys.
Hmm. How many more episodes is there? Just out of curiosity.
Let me see. There's 13 episodes total.
I'm on episode 8,
hmm
so 5 episodes left, right?
hmm
5 weeks. At least there was a couple of fight scenes today
hmm
in today's episode.
hmm
Still figured it out. Hell yeah.
Oh, I think it's a buffering. All right, I'm back.
That's Bizarro.
Bizarro! Oh, he's awake!
He's awake! What a tease! He's alive! He's alive!
Ah,
What
man,
an
that was a good
episode.
episode. That was a good episode.
Yes, a great episode. So
This
let's do our review
this
of it.
easily could have been bogged down by filler, but they were straight to the point. We had a few action set pieces. This easily could have been dragged out. A lesser writer, Eric Wallace, excuse me, would have
Nice.
dragged this out and made this.
Brian Bendis.
But I'm sorry, Talati, I didn't
Yes,
mean to cut you off.
this was a great episode. Like, it really definitely, you know, get me hyped for the next episode.
Definitely, and I think we have 5 more episodes after this one.
Yeah, 5 more episodes, yes.
So,
So
what did you guys think of the episode?
Um, I thought the episode was great. I thought
I loved it, dude. That's my favorite episode in a while because you had action. They dealt with. Hang on, something happened. They dealt with a lot of the. What's this? They dealt with a lot. Oh, sorry about that. They dealt with a lot of the whole Superboy thing really well, and yeah, like Jay Heat said, it could have devolved into more filler because it's the CW. Let's face it, that's what they do. It's the filler channel ultimately, but they really managed to keep it focused on Superman and Lois as the show goes. And I gotta say, well done.
yeah, it was well done, and it was managed. Like we got two crucial action scenes, crucial ones. The first action scene, obviously, is the firefight. Uh, saving Superboy saving a civilian. First ever,
Mhm.
we've actually seen that, and finally, Jonathan, basically becoming a firefighter. And then the second one is obviously Bruno Mannheim and his wife versus
And Tev
Superman and Steel.
and Tevia just commented my most recent video, so I kind of feel bad saying this, but if they went as far as to make Jordan, which is an OC, but essentially make him John Kent in the comics, this just goes to show that the character is bland and can't carry his own weight marketing wise. He needs an ensemble to prop him up. A lot of characters can't carry a solo title. John just happens to be one of them. There's no shame in it.
Mhm.
No, there isn't. Um, but yeah, what would you rate this week's episode,
I
guys?
give it a
Oh,
In
9.
terms of
solid 9 out of 10.
Solid,
Solid 9 out of 10.
solid 9 out of 10. I felt like it was trying to
and
cram
like with
too
the
much.
Mhm.
So I
Go
felt
on,
like it was trying
keep
to
it
cram
going.
too much because you had Lana trying to getting over Kyle cheating on her. Then you had Then you had Steel figuring out Mannheim's kid. That was already established. I feel like if you actually cut the Lana, I mean, it's good to see Lana at least trying to feel better and overcome her loneliness. But if you cut that part out, nothing in the episode changes. I feel like you could have repurposed those 5-10 minutes. But hey, it's
Yes,
melodrama. You
for
got to
sure.
sprinkle at least a little bit in there.
It's still fun, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. It's all good. Everything contributed to the plot. It wasn't like everything was. There wasn't anything in there that was like, well, that was random.
yeah. Um, but like seeming as they're teasing Bizarro's return in a big way with him being alive, how much of an impact do you think he'll have in the next
D-
episode?
Luthor is definitely plotting something because he was technically framed by Mannheim and Onomatopoeia. He was technically framed by them. So Luthor is definitely going to have a big revenge scheme when he gets released.
Yeah. And we know that he's going to be part of second half of Superman and Lois in terms of episodes. Now that it's been rumored, not confirmed yet, guys. So take this with a grain of salt. It's been rumored that Superman season 4 isn't happening. How do we end off this season?
If it's confirmed, I would say, I would say honestly, end it with Lois being killed because this would be the first, and that's not just because I don't like Lois. Because here's the thing, it's gonna be very cheap if ultimately Superman has this thing in the fortress that cures her of cancer.
Which he technically does, is just
Yeah,
human anatomy is different than Kryptonian anatomy. It's too big of a risk.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I don't think they're gonna go for like the magical MacGuffin that's gonna cure Lois's cancer. So ultimately, what I think is gonna happen is that yeah, Lois is gonna die, and this will be the first time we've ever had a Superman thing where Lois actually died. Which I'll be like,
Outs-
hey, that's ballsy, but I like it.
Outside of
and
comics and
uh,
the
and
Elseworlds,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my mods, Linger, says, "Kill them all." They're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
kill all of them, Linger. They're not gonna kill all of them. They'll probably keep Superman if anything. Um, because if the rate the show, because the show is looking good. Like, don't get me wrong, this season has been going great. The fact that it's been rumored now because of the cancellation of so many other shows, um,
And they're changing their business
including
model.
that,
That's the other thing.
yeah, them changing the business model as well, it makes me think that they probably end it on a high note, if anything, and give the fans a much more better reception to the ending of Superman and Lois.
I'd say that's the way
So
to do it.
y- that's the way to do it. Yes, of course. They should do what they did for Smallville, right?
Hmm.
You know how they
Right.
did the Superman thing for Super and Smallville, but in
Hmm.
Superman and Lois, they tease us, but then this time they could do it in the comic book run if they wanted to, and they can still continue the season if they wanted to in comic book form.
They could.
They could. They could.
I
They
mean,
could.
they,
Uh,
I mean
they definitely could. Yeah,
that's what
Tommy
I
would
think.
turn to be Superman. That'd be interesting.
Come on, my thing is that
But I feel like this just fully reaffirms my point. Whether it's John being a civilian, or you pretty much have Jordan be a John stand-in, or just the Super Sons in of itself in the comics. Okay. The best way I could say this without while still remaining on topic is what you have from World War Saga, the Super Twins, is more effective than John themselves. One, because they're a dynamic pair.
Hmm.
Two, there's this they're tied to Mongol and War World. There is much more narrative strife there. John is essentially the Tim Drake of the Super family. He's just too bland. He's too bland, and he can't stand on his own 2 feet without nostalgia creeping in and writing off member berries. He just can't stand on his own 2 feet. And I think the recent issue of Adventures of Superman, John can't prove that.
yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I just got disconnected from the internet. That same blame the internet there.
Hey man, poor connection happens all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think the way things are going for Superman and Lois, though, it does looking stronger and stronger each episode. Um, I think though I give this episode a definitely 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. I still think there needs to be more action scenes though, because if they do more action scenes, I think it definitely get people, more interested in the
Hmm.
show. That's what I think personally. But yeah, like, this episode was great. I can't wait for the next one. Next week is the next episode, guys. So we will be live streaming it again. We'll
Heck
be
yeah, I
live
can't wait.
we'll be live reacting to it. Plus as well, don't we have got a couple of things happening this week. So we will do our final thoughts because that is going to be the topic discussion is the final thoughts of today's stream and also like what we think overall when it comes down to Superman and Lois as a season. So yeah, let's go with Jay Heat. What do you think?
Definitely a step up from season two. Sorry to spoil Nick, but Bizarro alone, you could tell in season two Bizarro was a gimmick to generate hype for the finale. So this was definitely a step up from season two. A more grounded story, focusing more on the super family dynamic, and just really being cemented without the gravitas of superheroics. The heroics kind of take a back seat. So I definitely feel like this season has improvement, but its folly is where it relies too much on melodrama in classic CW fashion. It doesn't balance the action well. It's not to the point of filler, mind you, but there needs to be a better balance.
Yeah.
It-
Jared, your
Hmm?
thoughts on season three, and also so far from what we've watched, what do you think about the season overall, and also where do you think this will lead Superman and Lois going beyond season three?
Oh, I love it. I think it's going great, and so far the season's awesome. I like how it's like juggling all these heavy storylines, and once again, they're doing something new with Lois. They put her in a situation where Superman can't save her. Another point that would be interesting that I just thought of a prediction, or like where I think the season could go. I think they're going to use Bizarro Superman, assuming that this is the last season of the show, to kill Superman. Because if you notice, they're very heavily training, emphasizing Jordan is training to replace Clark.
Yes.
The
So what they
powers
could do is make it so Superman dies fighting Bizarro. They both die. You could do sort of homage death of Superman. Then there's a time skip. Lois is dead because of the cancer, and then Jordan is the premier superhero.
Yeah,
Okay,
they could do that. I mean, they could do that. I mean, for me personally, as my final thought, I thought the season is going great so far. I think going leading up to the ending of I think we need some sort of ending
definitely.
depending depending on what Warner Brothers Discovery is doing with this show. If they're canceling it, we need some sort of confirmation from this
And
because
and showrunners, I implore you, don't pull a Legends of Tomorrow and try to play chicken with the network. It never ends well.
yeah. So but yeah, like this, like we just want we want to be able to have a really good ending and at the same time satisfy the fans because if it's not ending great because that keeps the show going, but if not and it's ending at the end of season 3, I implore them to give us a big ending, something that keeps gets the fans on side, and that way I'm sure Nick, by the time he watches season 3, he'll understand like how deep of a season this is compared to the last season.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone in the chat, I hope you have enjoyed this reaction stroke live stream. We kind of do this on the fly, like we react to it this live while we watch the episode and give our thoughts afterwards and review it. So if you have enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell because when a video does go live, you will be notified. I'm gonna let the boys do their outro and let them know what they have got coming up. So, Jay Heat, what have you got coming up on your channel and also where everyone can find you?
Okay, you can find me at jheat75 on Twitter. You can also find me at jheatblaze on YouTube. I recently did my weekly podcast or New Direction series with Jared from Comics League, where we talked about Wonder Woman versus Scion, Hera's Reckoning. You could probably find the full title on YouTube, but it was a lot of fun, and who knows, we might continue this verse in the future. As for other content, I'm still doing the Batman Telltale series playthrough. I just had to take a couple days off due to family, but I am still working on that. And I just can't, and I'm 2 away from 160 subscribers. So hopefully I can reach that milestone. I'd really appreciate it, guys. It's been an honor being a part of Comics League in general.
Oh,
So
it's an honor to have you, dude. You and Taladia both.
It's
Because
not.
here's the thing, I get to do this a bit with you guys because you guys joined Comics League, and I am very grateful myself.
Yes, like doing this stuff is great because doing the reactions is like I never thought I'd do reaction live streams ever. I thought I'd be sticking to gaming, but because the fact that Gotham Knights is dead in the water in terms of video games, it's like I want to cover something else, and I thought Superman Lois would be a great opportunity for
did
me
It
that
always
game
to
have any
helps.
cover it
real
from season.
momentum?
I'm
Hello?
sorry.
Uh,
It always helps to have
yeah,
a little bit more diversity in your content, so you're more versatile.
yeah. So
And I'm not
I'm
digging. And I'm
covering. Go on.
Go ahead, Talati. Oh, okay. I'm not digging anyway, but arguably Gotham Knights was dead on arrival. Mark, if you could really make that argument,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Yeah.
what we know now.
But yeah. Jared, what have you got coming up? Where they can find you? What content have you got coming out on your channel?
All right. You guys can find me at Comics League JT on Twitter, Comics League 2020 on Instagram, and Comics League on YouTube. Jay Heat and I did a collab today that went really well. We're continuing our New Directions universe for DC, and I have Talati and I have a collab with Max from Mad Max Entertainment this weekend. Talk about comic books. It should be fun. I have
Yeah.
a collab with a Galata Comics tomorrow, talking about how European comics are different than American comics. And this week, for Under Two Capes, it was decided we are going to discuss our favorite DC Elseworld stories.
Ooh.
Yeah, so originally it was a Super Wonder topic, but I figured first I want to take a little break from that.
Please.
And second off, it's because I want to have one that we can have like a huge discussion around because we all have our favorite Elseworld stories. Because
Yeah.
look,
Yes,
let's
yes.
think about DC. DC lives in the Elseworlds realm. Yeah, they have the better in continuity, but Elseworlds is where DC shines. Well, let's face it, DC invented the multiverse too. So there you go.
So like think about it. Think about it like All Star Superman, Red
Oh,
Sun Superman. You got
yeah, right. You got speeding bullets. There's so many. So we got that.
so we got so we'll be covering that for sure. I think on Comics League for sure.
100%. And then CLD, we have whatever news topics are coming out in the week. And then on Saturday, again, Saturday, we have to collab with Max. And we have Teladia's Inside the Multiverse podcast. Just super excited for that.
Into
Into the
into the
multiverse, yeah.
multiverse. Nice.
And then on at 6 p.m. Eastern, we are discussing from Comics League Movie Night Superman. I think it's called Unbound, right?
Yeah, Superman
Which
Unbound. Yes,
is
but
which is the Brainiac invasion. It's an adaptation of the Jeff Johns Superman Brainiac storyline. It also has Supergirl, and from what I gather, it would have been the storyline more or less for Man of Steel 2.
and it was going to be a storyline used for the cancelled Superman game too. If you did not know that.
Oh, really? That's cool. So yeah, we have
Yeah.
tons of really killer content this week to discuss from all of our channels. And once again,
Yes.
subscribe to these fine gentlemen because they've been really pumping out the great content.
Yes, for me though, guys, you guys know me. I have, recently done two interviews. One of them was with the Bat Channel and Super Pro Corey. Great interview as we discuss AFSP for American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and the Full Circle event that did the charity stream. I also interviewed Rhea, the Glimmering Harpy. I can't pronounce it. And we talked about her experience at the Full Circle event, her interview with Zack Snyder, and
Lucky.
furthermore we talked about her channel, like what inspired her, and which there's a lot to digest. It's a good hour, a good full hour of that interview. It's a very, very, very interesting topic a very, very interesting interview. If you guys haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend checking that out. As you know, I have got my Superman game video coming out later on this week, where I discuss about the topic at hand and what are my honest opinions about it.
Nice.
Sweet, should be fun. And let's face it, it's about time that a Trinity member other than so it's kind of funny when the Superman game comes out. Jay Heat, do you realize that the Trinity will all have games?
Huh.
That's an interesting. Batman obviously has the most, but my point is, we will finally live in a world where Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman all have games.
I never thought I'd see the day.
They should have always had games, but still. And I'm wondering, this could be the start of a gaming universe for like DCU and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that one. And Claudia's frozen. But anyway, also go check out my collab with Jay Heat. It was super fun. So basically we've created a universe. Superman has had games. Yeah, I know that, but Wonder Woman hasn't. My point is, this is the first time that all three members of the Trinity are gonna have games that are gonna have solo games just for them. So, and again, so Jay Heat and I have a series called New Directions, where we're looking at DC's lost opportunities and saying how we would do them, and we basically have formed our own DC continuity.
basically. Now you are going to get some anthology or character focused videos.
Yeah.
But if the Super Wonder trend that Jared started is anything to go by, then maybe I will tackle the Scion timeline every now and again.
You should, because honestly, here's the thing: Snyderverse and Super Wonder stuff do very well on YouTube. I found even before like the channel blew up, those are always my highest performing episodes.
I'll keep that in mind, Jared. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, geez. So check this out. A Young Justice audience demand is 15.2 higher than in the average U.S. series in the last 30 days.
Yes.
It-
By the way, sorry
I'm-
about the technical difficulties there, guys. My internet just decides to crash. It's been doing that every day.
Of course.
Of course.
So like before we end it, right? Obviously, yes, I was talking about the Superman game video. I have got that video planned out, coming out later today. It's a very top of high discussion because I have a lot to say. Because is it going to be a DCU video game? Is it not going to be a DCU Elseworld video game? That is going to be a very good subject, and what I really think about it. Because obviously, I don't want to do it. I kind of want to uh obviously dive into it because David Zaslav did the earnings score last week, so I really want to dive into that stuff. But what were you talking about, Young Justice, before we end?
I was just saying about how I just saw an article that showed that demand for a Young Justice season 15 is like, I think 15.2 times higher than the average show
Well, you mean okay.
for another
Uh,
season. That's
Link-
interesting.
Linger says Superman has had games. No, he hasn't, Linger.
No, he has.
he-
He has the 64 game and Superman Returns.
But that's two. He hasn't had Arkham level or Marvel Spider-Man level video games.
Well, okay, he hasn't had that large scale like badass AAA games. He has had games before, so we have to be clear on that.
Yeah, he has had games before, but he hasn't had the top tier games. So Linger, I'm telling you now, if WB Games are making a Superman game next, after Gotham Knights, after Suicide Squad Kill the Justice, after Wonder Woman, then you got yourself a winner on your hands.
And I was talking to Jay Heat, Taladia. How does it feel knowing that we're going to live in a world where all three members of the Trinity have top tier games?
It's solo video games too, mind you.
No, solo games too. It's not just like, because I don't trust I don't count Justice League Heroes. By the way, that game is super fun. I
Yeah.
don't count like Justice League or Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League as those games, because I count solo games right now, because obviously
Yeah.
we've had Justice League games before.
Yeah. So like for the Trinity to get solo games means a lot. So with that being said, though, I've been your host Taladia Plays. That has been Jay Heat. That has been Comics Lead. We leave you on a high note and a very good note actually. And in the words of PK,
Let me try.
Okay.
Wonderbot, 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 Wonderbot.
Podcast. So we'll see what happens with that.
May the force be with you, Wonderbat.
You know, it's funny when even I'm laughing at that, because my face is so
I
good.
regret nothing.
oh, and yeah, Linga, I know the Shadow of Apocalypse 2. We'll discuss this like off stream for sure. But anyway, yeah, I've been your host Taladia Plays. That's been the boys.
Flame
We'll see
off
you guys
and
later.
Wonderbat.
Wonderbat for life.